I want to tell I want to emphasize this principle of input determines output with, I guess, an ongoing personal story. There's not just one, but it's been a recurring theme. Like in my own life, um, if I'm ever feeling extra unmotivated, overwhelmed, um, I use the word depressed, but I to me that means like I just feel uh, it's
Yeah.
I don't think it's like depression like most people talk about it. Um anything, any of those negative emotions. And if that goes on for say longer than a few days, and definitely if it goes on for a week or longer, Greg always reminds me because I forget. Have you been getting any good input lately? I'm like, no, I haven't been listening to anything or reading anything.
An example of me intervening with my spell,
Yes.
which also works, you guys.
So so I I guess I'm sharing this little story because I'm trying to emphasize how important input is for determining output. And as we talk about this building supporting relationships, this is a very important element. Now, what are specific inputs, and how do we use them? Well, coming to this is one of those things. But depending where you are, yes, yes, thank you. Good job. Way to go. This is one of those things. Depending where you are in your growth journey, coming to this might be enough to sustain you for a whole week until next week. I know for me, sometimes there were times where that was not enough. I literally needed something every single day. So that's when I was very intentional with the input of making sure I was getting it every day to help, like, what's the word? Like, bolster, what is that word? Help keep me up. Right? Yeah. So it has to become a very intentional thing that you do that then becomes this supporting foundation that makes it easier for you to parent from. So that could be listening to audiobooks while you're washing the dishes or going for a walk. That could be reading from books in the morning or before bed. That could be listening to podcasts. That can even be listening to positive music. Like if you have a playlist that you like, put it on while you're making dinner. So instead of feeling annoyed about making dinner and all this stuff, you're listening to your playlist and you're feeling better. You're feeling happier. Um,
Have you guys done this where you're in the kitchen, like, dancing, having a blast? It's like, family life's the best, making dinner, and they do something, you're like, "Oh, it's just milk, whatever, ah," versus you're saying like, "Grr,
yeah,
make food again, clean dishes, family life sucks."
right.
It's like you could turn on a song and it just totally changes
Mhm.
your whole experience.
And I really love that. Our son, Kimball, he's like a music guy, junkie, I guess. But he's always doing that, and I began to realize, like, this is a really positive thing, like, he's constantly putting on music to change the mood, or to just
Have fun.
lift the mood, or just to have more fun, and then, like, it brings so much more fun and life to the family because now everything's, not everything, but, we're having parties, so to say, because he's putting on music to, like, just make it fun and happy.
So in the mornings, we put on our classics list. Those of you who've been
Mhm.
here, you know this. We put on our classics, and it just kind of sets the tone for breakfast and our Devo. Then afternoons and evenings,
Well, and before that, we work out
yeah,
with,
yeah,
more intense
when they're in
music,
the
but
gym, that's the only time we do the intense music. But then afternoons and evenings, Kimball or Leah or Atlas throw on some of their fun songs they like, and we're dancing around,
chill songs
just
or
having fun.
okay,
If
so
I could emphasize one thing, and I've said this for years and years and years: miss a meal if you have to, but do not miss input. It is more important to get input than it is to get food. Most of us could afford to miss a meal or two, but none of us can afford to miss that input. And we think, oh, well, I'll get some next week, or, I went to that thing last week. No, man, Like saying you brushed your teeth last week, right? Or, oh, I got some nutrition last month. I think I'm good. No, you're not. No, you're not. So get good input. For me, it's daily, every day.
Mhm.
Gotta have good input.
Yeah, and especially as we are looking at going back to emphasizing these foundational levels, when we're looking at doing everything else in the pyramid in our parenting, it's going to be so much easier when we're having this daily input. It really does make an incredible difference. Like if you just start doing it, you're going to be amazed at how much better you feel and more positive you feel and how much more wisdom you seem to have. You'll be like, wow, yeah, I actually just read about this. Let me explain to you how this works. This is amazing. Like it like provides this fount of information. You've heard Greg talk a lot about you can't draw from an empty well. When we're trying to parent, we have to have stuff there to draw from, and input is one of those things. Makes a huge difference.
So, whatever outcome you'd like for your family, for your children, find sources of good input that align with it. So,
Hmm.
if you want to have your kids to have spiritual practices or religious practice, find great sermons, great videos. Like as a family on Sundays, we're watching these Bible videos, easy, and the whole family likes them. From Sanji's 9, she loves them. I'm almost 48, and I love them. Like, and we're all getting so much from them. And so that's input, right? We're learning about the well, in this case, it's the Old Testament. It's like, so cool. So look for that, and we want our kids to have that spiritual journey. So we're finding these great books. Um, well, our daughter is reading the Upanishads right now, and the Dhammapada and the Bhagavad Gita, all the religious texts. But we're also, having them read these great Christian books like Mere Christianity or The Genius of Jesus. We had all the teens go through that. So, like, get the input for the outcome you want. Does that make sense? Mhm. So, seek out the input for the outcome you want.
Right.
Amy,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So that's kind of, well, yeah. Let me just say this really fast and then you can go ahead. That's just kind of I guess, the next level of this because getting good input is the one level that helps us to stay motivated. But then we can also be very specific about the type of input we want in order to get the types of outcomes that we want.